What is up, YouTube? LazeeLlama here, and here we are with another game, another Idle-esque game made by someone actually in the community by the name of Connor. The game actually is named Connor Poe by the looks of it. I told him I'd give it a little bit of a showcase and check it out. It's an idle game. I did do a bit of testing, and honestly speaking, it needs an auto clicker to play. The game is not playable without an auto clicker at all, from what I've seen. It would be very, very, very slow of a start to where it would be actually pretty boring to get anything off the ground and do anything. So basically, what you're doing is, and I don't know if everything's on the screen. It looks like we're missing a little bit on the video. There's a 1 here that basically says your level. There's nothing really over here. You have basically principle of energy, and that's just your zone. And honestly, I'm not gonna be able to fix that right now. But what this does is this. Clicking this amount of times will make another ball basically appear, and if you can click it enough times, you can get more to appear. And I had it at one point in the game where I'd actually had quite a bit of stuff spawning with me. There's also a couple glitches I've seen with the game that are wrong, and you'll see where it says buy a blue ball. It doesn't actually buy a ball. It should be upgrade a ball, and his other buttons actually fix themselves, but the blue ball doesn't. Doing this will basically give it damage. We need to kind of click all these at the same time to make all these temporary balls kind of show up and kind of click on things, and it glitches out like this sometimes, or bugs out I should say. It doesn't seem right when the balls kind of bounce directly back and forth like this. You'll get to the point, I've had it to where during my testing, all 5 of those spawnable ones would literally, and I think 2 reds, so I played it for a little bit just testing it out and seeing how the game went, would kind of just sit like that, and there's nothing you can do, like stopping and starting made them like kind of come back, and they were doing the same thing. I don't know if that's an issue, or I mean it's definitely an issue. I don't know if like it's a known issue or not, but it's got a different feel to an idle game. And basically what actually this says at the bottom here is your ball clones every 50 ranks. So every 50 rank here you get another ball, and every 100 ranks it gets stronger. This doesn't seem to make more balls, it just makes the black balls that fly around do a little bit more damage. So basically the idea is to get this up to 50 as quick as possible, and you get another ball basically floating around. It looks like things were updated since I last played actually, and the things like 100,000 here were changed. Before that was 100,000 zeros, and it was really hard to read. And see, that's thankfully going to hit him, but I've had it where they've gone directly across and they were not going to hit a circle no matter how many times they went back and forth, and that's the problem. You'll end up getting a boss wave as well. That'll kind of help speed up your progress. I'm not making a series nor even a mini series of this right now. It definitely seems like it's on the earlier side in development of my point of view on it. It is a really cool concept. I like the idea actually a lot. I think it's a cool idea for sure of just something different. It's not like another idle game, and it's more of an active game than an idle game for sure. You definitely, like I said, need an auto clicker. Even later on, at the point where I was, you still kind of needed it. Right now, the black balls aren't really doing much, but this blue ball like demolishes when it hits things. It should do almost 100% of all these health bars. If we can get it on a bit better of a rotation bouncing here, it'll do a little bit better for us. And I could be upgrading those, but I don't think that's worth it. I did that when I was doing my testing. I upgraded those first. And I think your best bet in this is just to rush your blue ball to 50. Get it 50 as soon as possible, and just kind of go from there. Again, I'm only planning on doing like 1 showcase video of this, just kind of giving it some light, because I do think it's got some potential for it. I think it's a cool idea for sure. I don't know if that's the permanent name for it as well. Again, it's like Connor Poe, so I don't know if that's the idea of it. And I don't know what the point of like it saying bond up here and whatnot is, but yeah, it looks like we're on level 5. Again, you can't see that with the way this is set up, but that's all that's missing off the screen is just at the top. It looked like there's achievements that are coming soon. This I haven't honestly gotten to this point. This is farther in the game for sure. You got stats, and it just kind of says how many times you click. Leaderboards, he doesn't have the option to, and it's got a couple option settings. You got night mode, which is kind of cool as well if you're into the darker set of things. We're gonna leave it like this, but you can see that blue ball. I mean, it's moving up, so it's at least gonna go hit. That thing is literally set at 1% right now. This black ball should hit. Cool. We got to get our first boss. On our first boss, that's when things are gonna kind of get solved. A lot of these problems. This blue one should hit that. Yeah. If it gets knocked on a better course right now. But I've had them where they weren't moving at all and they were going like side to side or up or down, and they just would not ruin. Like they couldn't get the pattern wouldn't change. So you had like one ball going around, and that was the only ball that would have a chance of even hitting. I guess the ball that you're trying to hit. So it looks like he's going for a science aspect, actually. That's why it says bond. I just noticed that it was the subatomic particles and whatnot, and the principal energies, like the levels. Again, it's a cool idea for sure. I think this has, definitely potential. I mean, add some music to it or something if you can. I don't know if you can do that with what you have. I mean, make sure you have copyrights to it. I would not do something you don't. But I mean, you can do a lot of different music. That gives like free rights as long as you give them mention, which you could probably do even at the bottom page. You see here, got it to 50, and you get another ball going around, and that's where the game's really going to start to speed up for you. And I'm not going to do all this just fluent play. I'm actually going to do a little bit of offline play here and kind of advance this forward so you guys can see a bit. At this point, I think it's worth grabbing these just because those will do more damage now. And it looks like actually at level 24, those are one-shotting these. Maybe you are better off upgrading the click balls first. I just like doing the blue ones because you get more. Upgrading that one actually add more even at 50. Here's the boss, which gives you a ton. If you see, we got 20,000 now. Meaning we can actually buy a green ball. And when first second you can do that, just do it. If you can ever buy the next ball, do it just to get another ball going around. They do have different aspects to each ball. Like this one's bigger, and that's the difference of that ball. Again, getting this to 50, I don't think actually does anything. Actually went above 50. Yeah, as you can see, it's the same amount of balls that come back. But everything right now is one-shotting, which is realistically like what you want to see. I wouldn't like save to 100,000 points right now, but I think instead of getting this up to 50, I think it's actually easier to get this to 100 and get another blue ball as well. So that's going to be my goal. I'm going to grind this out a bit, kind of just save up money or subatomic particles as I go. I'll try to set this up and let it farm a little bit, and we'll come back and make a little bit more progress in it. Again, I'm planning on just doing one video of this just to kind of showcase it. I will have a link in the description. Again, I think if a bit more work was done to this game, I think it again has really good potential. I think it's awesome. And again, it's made by someone in the community, which is really, really neat. So this type of thing is something I kind of wanted to share with you guys. I thought it was people have like made them in the community before, and like I've checked them out. It's like they're really early stages of a game, and it's like it's not really worth sharing to people yet. This is interesting, and again, I haven't looked even remotely into the whole prestiging process. You need like ball points or whatever. I don't even know where you get. Or actually, you get double ball points from every 100 levels past 400. So I guess at 100 levels you probably get it. Again, our levels off screen, you can see there's a 2. It's actually 22 right now. But you can see everything's still pretty much insta-killing. Just kind of grinding this out. Again, if we can get this up to 100, not quite. That would be ideal right now for us. Again, the biggest problem I think with it, or not really biggest problem, is that you 100%. I mean, the amount of clicking you'd be doing to make as many of these show up. I mean, like if I'm at an average pace right now, I can get 2 to spawn without clicking like rapidly, and 1 disappears occasionally. If I really start clicking, I mean, I could probably click for all of them to come back if it even registers the clicks. It's not even registering them. But I think it's almost expected for you to use an auto clicker, which I don't like them to expect in a game necessarily. It just seems that way. You can see the black balls actually aren't one-shotting anymore, but the other ones seem to still be doing it. But you see, as you get more balls, it gets easier to start. Make sure you're hitting more consistently. And again, we'll come back a little later, probably after I honestly get the blue ball up, and then I'll probably end up letting it farm until I can actually, let's see what this can afford. Because that red ball is interesting. Not quite. We're going to go for this next blue ball for sure. Boom. So another blue ball going around. Again, I think we're going to want to level up our click at this point and get this upwards of 100, just so these things can one-shot again, realistically. I don't even think the green one's one-shotting right now, so we'll need to level that up too. But wow, I've never seen a spawn like that. But I'm going to just, like I said, let it farm up. We'll come back in a little bit and see what's going on. Alrighty, so just a mini update on progress. We're on 47 now. I think we left on like 33 or 32 or something. You can see we've got the green ball, and what it does, oh, it actually bounced there. It seemed like it was going through them without actually bouncing before. But I guess not. Never mind. I wanted to show that off. But nonetheless, you can see we've got the red one going now. And it's a small one, but it does a lot of damage. Which is kind of the cool thing about that one. But again, I'm going to keep this going. Keep leveling things up. Doing what I can. and I'm gonna come back later in the game. I want to show you guys a little bit more when you have more going on. All right, so I just bought the yellow ball, and oh, browser freaked out there for a minute. The yellow ball moves a lot faster if you can't tell. That's the thing about the yellow ball. It bounces fast. It does even more damage, and just kind of does its own thing there. At this point, we're really, I think, aiming for red balls. We definitely need to up the damage on some of these other ones, but I think we want to aim for. That's gonna be expensive, actually. Maybe we can't afford the red ball all the way up there. Maybe it is the blue ball here. Maybe we go that to 150 might be the way to go. It's going to get pretty pricey. But again, I'm going to just keep grinding, and I'm going to skip a bit. Unless we get the orange ball anytime soon, expect to come back, and there'll be some pretty big updates in this. All right, we're back. And after kind of playing for a little while, I thought of a couple suggestions I'd like to leave for Connor. I mean, whether you take them or not, whether they're too difficult to add or you don't want to add them for purposes of your own, that's cool. But honestly, I'd like to see how much damage each ball does. Also, this whole buy thing needs to go to upgrade. That is definitely a bug. You can just tell by the way the other ones work. They go to upgrade after you buy the first one. I think it's because you start with one. And I mean, honestly, you could even make it where you start with just the clicking ones. I mean, to be honest, and then you could have it buy if for some reason the bug is like I don't know what the problem is with that, or if that's just a something that needs to be upgraded. I do love that you made them where it says million thousand now instead of all the zeros. It was really hard to tell what what they would costing. So this is great like this. I did see you had a spot for I think scientific notation here too. That people could always use as well, but if you show the damage of that and somehow maybe even like inside the percent here, like you show the percent's cool, but maybe if it said the ball damage as well, another boss here. Wow, we barely even touch this thing. Anyways, I'm gonna buy the orange ball, which is huge. Okay. I haven't seen the orange ball yet. This is honestly the most money I've had for sure. And I didn't really know what to upgrade next, so I kind of I upgraded this a couple over. I think I went yellow up. Well, it's gonna be pretty pricey for sure. It's definitely slowing down, and it's like to the point where I kind of got to let it go AFK. But without clicking, it's not going to go up a ton either. I also don't know if this is going to be better to go to 250 first rather than getting that up. So I'm going to play for a little bit longer, but honestly, it's coming towards the end. This orange ball is really slow as well. It definitely does a lot to these guys. I think it's cool how each ball kind of has different properties of sorts. For sure, I think it's a really good idea. I don't know what the small ones here do because they don't seem to go any faster, really. They seem to be about the same speed. I don't know if they just have like way more damage. It seems like sometimes like that just hit the yellow ball, I think, and they bounced off each other. Sometimes it seems like that happens, but the collision doesn't always happen like that. They cross there, but I could have sworn I may have missed that weird. I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I was looking down at these guys, and it looked like they bounced off each other, but it could have been two blues passing through each other, I guess. But yeah, if you could add something about like how much damage this is doing, or even if you wanted to go as far as how much damage would the next level do, however you want to do it, or like the next 50 levels. If you did the next 50 levels to get the next, or sorry, it's 100 for the much stronger rank. I mean, you do it how you want to do it. I mean, I think the game's at a, it's got a fun concept to it for sure. I just think it's definitely at an early stage of the game, and I think there's a lot of possible work that needs to be done to it. To make it, a great spot. I mean, again, I think you got something great going for you. I think it's really cool. These things aren't even like touched by anything other than this guy. Actually, the yellow guy I think did it too. So I don't know if that means I should just not even go for the next 50 levels, just buy the cheaper ones. Like I have a ton right now, and honestly, we can level that up a ton and start working that up there. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to try to figure out what's the most efficient thing to grab. But it seems like it would take a really long time to get down to these later stages of the game for sure. But again, if you guys like the game, definitely like the video in general, hit that like button. Again, I will have a link to the description. You can check it out. Again, I think it's pretty fun. I just think it's got a lot of work that needs to be done. I'm trying to give you, good criticism as far as what I think is needed. What I think isn't necessarily what either your vision of the game is or what other people may think. I just figured I'd be nice and let you know. See, now we got a problem with this orange ball. I mean, it's doing it at a spot to where a ball could spawn, but it's literally going to do that same bounce over and over in those corners. I guess until either a boss comes or until a ball spawns in its path, which could happen. It happened to me at an early stage of the game where I think I had literally like 2 balls still floating around that did like no damage. I think there's a ball under here too. But they did like no damage, and the rest of them were like back and forth, weren't even moving. They were like stuck. Again, this is when I was previously testing the game. But anyways, I'm gonna let it farm up a bit, like I said, and we'll come back and I'll kind of give my final conclusions of the game after letting it sit for a bit longer. And yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think. Alright, so we're back to kind of give my final impressions of the game. Again, I think it's a cool idle game. It definitely slowing down. It's to the point where I need to let it go idle for quite some time. I mean, we have a couple billion here we could spend, but honestly speaking, it's to the point where just everything does like no. I mean, green's barely doing it. It has it like twice to actually take down a percent and whatnot. I just got up to the point where we had a third one, and we can keep going at this all day. I've gotten enough of the game to kind of get the feel for it. I feel like I don't really need to see any more of it to get my final impressions. And again, I'm gonna stick to it. I think it's got some it's got some potential. It's a cool concept. It's a different type of idle game for sure. Yeah, I mean, if it's something you're interested in, again, check it out. Again, I don't know if this is the final version of it or if he's planning to update it. It does seem like I said it was updated from yesterday, as the numbers are completely different. So it looks like it may be still being worked on. Again, if you like it, go check it out. This is probably all I'm going to do on it. I don't expect to really play any more of it. I just kind of want to show it to you guys, let you guys see it, and you guys could take it from there. But anyways, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.